Welcome, young one. Wish to be a Jedi, do you? Hmm? The path to becoming a Jedi is indeed an arduous one, but fortunately there exists simulation software. Known as Star Wars Jedi Academy it is. Tell you I will about the inner workings of this simulation and how well it can be used for a greater understanding in the Force. Released in 2003, Jedi Academy was. It is a first-person shooter with a third-person camera when you are wielding a lightsaber. And Force powers do you also, in addition to a few types of explosives. Being of Jedi importance, discuss Force powers first will I. Your abilities span through both the light as well as the dark side of the Force. At your disposal on the light side of the Force are Force Push, Force Pull, Force Speed, Force Sense, Force Absorb, Force Heal, Force Protection, and Jedi Mind Trick. Yes. If choose to use the dark side you do, the game does not judge. Your abilities there are Force Drain, Force Lightning, Force Grip, and Force Rage. Yes. The three most used from my perspective are Force Speed, Force Healing, and Force Protection. Very powerful Force Speed is, for it slows down everything except you. Makes it much easier to get the drop on your opponent, yes? Invaluable Force Healing is, for it allows you to tap into your regenerating Force to heal your injuries, permitting indefinite health restoration. Force Protection may not seem as useful, but the damage absorption can make a real difference when you're in the midst of combat. Moreover, it is very necessary in situations with hazards such as acid rain. Use the dark side of the Force. I do not often, but not because of the Jedi Code. Simply find the light side powers more helpful, I did, but the choice is yours. Whether you use the light or dark side powers does not matter. Given a moral option you are to go with the light or dark side as it pertains to sparing or felling a fellow Force user. This will determine your path, so do not be afraid to use whatever Force powers are at your disposal. Surprisingly satisfying, I did find the lightsaber combat. Choose to dual wield or wield a Darth Maul-style lightsaber do you also have? If, however, looking for a little excitement do you, locate your auto-exec CFG and add the following line to enable dismemberment. Note, young one, that this is a double-edged saber and you will be dismembered by enemy lightsabers as well. Use blasters and explosives often, I did not, due to the satisfaction of the civilized lightsaber. For those of you who choose, though, you have your choice of pistol blaster, rifle, disruptor, bowcaster, heavy repeater, electromagnetic gun, concussive, and missile weapons. You are also able to pick from thermal detonator, laser drip mine, and detonation det pack. If choose to wield guns to you, the camera switches to first person. Due to this, wield a lightsaber may you choose to do in platforming so that you are able to find your footing. Choose from a selection of missions do you to progress the story. You are not required to complete all of them typically, but may choose if you wish, yes. Many enemies do you have along the path of the Jedi? The humble stormtrooper poses not much threat, but can be troublesome in a pack. A few missions will send you against the Rancor and Sandworm respectively. Completely invincible are they, so avoid them you must. Lure the Rancor away to give the prisoners safe passage and avoid the sand to be free of the Sandworm's wrath. Later on, lightsaber opponents will you face, in addition to members of the Sith that wield Force abilities. Face Boba Fett at one point you will, and he will hound you until you've completed your mission. You must not underestimate your opponent. Gain points every so often do you to enhance your Force abilities, and I suggest you choose wisely. Yes. Ultimately, pretty straightforward the game is. Your Force sense can help prevent you from getting lost, and there are some secrets in each level you can find as well. Very good classic shooter fun it is, and the lightsaber is especially satisfying to use.
Hey Jaden, you should be able to handle this no problem. Small-time thugs like Racto are usually very intimidated by the sight of a lightsaber.
The plot is connected to the Jedi Knight and Dark Force series, where Kyle Katarn makes his reappearance. However, play as him you do not, for your role as a Padawan of Kyle's named Jaden. The simulation begins with Jaden in training alongside Rosh, another Jedi student. Overly competitive Rosh proves to be, placing Jaden in grave danger and being scorned for it. It soon comes to light that agents of the dark side are draining energy from a Jedi temple. A mysterious Sith cult has made itself known, bent on resurrecting the dreadful Ragnos. Investigate you must this cult, all the while continuing your growth as a young Jedi. In a variety of missions involving prisoner rescue, espionage, and investigations brought to light it soon is that Rosh is impatient. The young prospect Jedi is captured by the forces of the dark side and joins them. Promoted you soon are to Jedi Knight as you forge a new lightsaber and must further your investigation. Eventually you must confront Rosh and choose you must whether to spare his life or snuff it out. Your choices will determine your ultimate path in the end, whether to continue as a Jedi or to lose yourself to the dark side of the Force. Choosing the dark side does not align yourself with the Sith cult. Contrarily, greed overtakes your mind and you make enemies of both the Sith and the Jedi. Choosing the path of the Jedi is the path that permits allies in the form of Jedi in the final level. Choosing the path of light pits you up against Ragnos himself, while the path of the Sith ends up with you facing off against your former master, Kyle. Quite engaging, Jedi Academy's plot is. While he doesn't engage actively, Luke Skywalker is in the game and fittingly treated as a true Jedi Master. With the Disney trilogy treating him as a deserter, it is refreshing to remember Luke's greatness. The story certainly gets my seal of approval and is fitting for a Jedi Knight in training. Very well pleased with it, I am.
I'm gonna teach you, and you're gonna learn. That's it.
Quite old this simulation is. A mere hatchling compared to me, but nonetheless quite aged. It is built on the Quake 3 engine and as such utilizes lightning and particles from a more simple era. However, look terrible it is not, for it manages to have lips moving fully voiced cutscenes in real time. The glow of a lightsaber is pleasing to behold, and each strike against the surface leaves its mark, both of the living and non-living variety. As I have mentioned before, you're able to tweak things to enable dismemberment, and while it is not the Jedi way to seek pleasure in the pain of others, it is quite satisfying to leave a stormtrooper's limbs and head flying through the air. Much music Jedi Academy also has, and it of course carries the thrill and action you can come to expect from that such as Star Wars. The sound of a lightsaber swaying through the air is likewise pleasant to listen to, yes. Ultimately, Jedi Academy is of course outdated in the visuals department. However, that does not mean it fails to impress. After all, youthful I am not, but I still impress.
You're surrounded.
Ultimately, Star Wars Jedi Academy truly impresses the young Jedi. If anything, the lightsaber combat may be too compelling for its own good because I found myself using the regular blaster weapons less and less frequently. Recommend it? I certainly do. It will be a most suitable way to approach your training towards the path to becoming a Jedi. Thank you, I do, for watching this video. Now have a pleasant day, and may the Force be with you.